Hello, welcome to Auction Spy. Thank you for joining me once again. This is the show where we stack deals, we stack properties, we appraise properties that will be going to auction in the coming days. We try and work out what sort of strategy the eventual purchaser would be applying on the property, and after they've purchased, we'll work out exactly which strategy they would have opted for. So in this case, we shall be looking at a property in Staffordshire. So I've already done a search and I found the one that's best suited for us today. I haven't stacked a serviced accommodation property yet, so this is the very first time. So let's go through the process. My name is Uba from Valap, and Valap is a product that helps investors stack different properties with different strategies. We shall see as we go through this video. So without taking too much time, the guide price for this property is £150,000. It's in Stafford, Staffordshire, 79 Lichfield Road, and the catalogue entry gives us a bit more information than what you see on EIG. Says it's an end terrace property currently operating as an Airbnb. I don't see anything to suggest it's got a use class of C1, but they're probably perfectly okay to operate as Airbnb. It's achieving £25 per room per night. There are 5 guest rooms. EPC value of E. Okay, so let's see what's in the legal documentation for auction. Please always make sure you get a solicitor qualified to review the legal documents, the legal pack. And oftentimes, if you eventually purchase a property, the solicitor would remove the amount that he charged or she charged to review the contract from the final figure you have to pay. So legal documents. Okay, sign in. Yep, go for it. Okay, right. So what I tend to do on these videos is look for any special conditions. There's nothing here that suggests there's a special condition. Okay, just got the EPC. What does this contract look like? Let's go. What's this? Just a purchase contract. Okay. Okay, 28 days. Right. Okay. What about conditions? Right. Good. This is just a quick look at the contract to see if anything stands out. Common things tend to be a change or variation in the completion date, and you having to pay towards one fee or another. Okay, nothing jumps out at me. Okay. Right. 4% if you don't complete, so £300 there, search fees 465. Okay, this is fairly okay, I think you'd have to say. Right, so okay, where is my screen? This right. Okay, so that's it. So let's go to Valap and appraise this property. Now we know the postcode ST17 for LP. So we're going to Valap, we log in. If you haven't logged in before, you register and log in, you get some free credits. Start appraising, add new appraisal. What's the postcode again? ST17 for LP. Now this application has pretty much all of the UK data, so the appraisal is fairly tends to be fairly accurate depending on how much information is available. So okay, Okay, we'll just call this a house, service accommodation. How much was it? 150. Okay. Agent telephone number. Okay, so we want to phone the agents. Okay, so go to insights. Yeah, confirm the address. Yes, that is correct. So it's searching for the EPC. Let me see. So it hasn't found an EPC for this property. Okay, so we don't have an EPC. So let's put in the information ourselves. 5 bedrooms, total floor area. That's a normal 5-bed house. So we can do. It's a normal 5-bed house. Let's say 150 square meters. So it goes off to do the appraisal. Okay, this is good. So there aren't enough figures for the flip appraisal for this one, which is okay. So serviced accommodation comes in green. That's a good sign. Okay, so let's see what this entails. Right. Okay, so asking price 150, yearly profit of 10,000. It's estimated 79 pounds. Right. Okay, so according to the legal pack, or the sales information, £25 per room per night. We've got 5 guest rooms, 1 is self-contained. So let's assume £125 every night for the whole property. So 125. Let's use an occupancy rate of 60% because we don't know what that area is like. Now you've got here capital costs of 0, and that's because it's only done a serviced accommodation appraisal. Now in this case, we'd have to buy the property and then run it as a serviced accommodation with 14 grand profit without doing anything. So as a serviced accommodation, it seems okay. Whether you get enough people depends on what clientele you're looking for. £25 a night seems fairly okay. So as we are going to be purchasing this property, you'd add your capital costs here. So let's include deposit. Estimate will be 25% of 150, which comes in at, let's see, so 150 times 125, 37,500, just one, and that is yearly. Okay, so it tries to break down the figures to a monthly figure, so it's easy to compare and look at what's coming in. And then we look at stuff like stamp duty. The asking price, let's say 5% if you're buying as a company. 7,500. So be sure to make this yearly so that it helps in terms of working out your return on investment and other figures. So comparatively, so legals. Let's say 2 grand. A really expensive lawyer. Again, yeah. So this is one-off. These are one-off costs, hence why they're capital costs. Now refurb, let's say 10 grand. It's okay. Right. So now we've got our capital costs. We looked at deposit, stamp duty, legals, and refurbs. Now, if you wonder why, even though you're getting £3,800, £802 a month, right, your profit is only £14,000. Well, there are 2 things at play here. So there's a 60% occupancy rate. So that means out of every 10 days, you're occupied fully for 6 days. And I think that's fair for that area. and then factoring in the amount you are putting in to do that, to do the acquisition, to buy the property, your return on investment for the first year is 26%. Then subsequent to that, you'd expect it to be a normal operating cost. So what's included? So you've got figures here for buildings insurance, contents, monthly rent. Now this monthly rent is your equivalent to the mortgage you'd be paying. So on something like this, you would want to be so 150,000 times 75%, because your deposit is 25%, gives you 112,000. If we did a rate of, let's say, 6%, just for stress testing, divided by 12, £562. So that's your 562. So £562 a month is what you'd be paying. 562.15 is what you'd be paying. Okay, and that's 4% of the income, right? And that's monthly. Buildings insurance, your contents insurance. We've already looked at capital cost, marketing costs. There's nothing in there. Listing cost. We put some fees for AirBnB and booking. Yeah, so it equates about 2.2% of your income, and 4.6% for booking.com. Operating costs, so we looked at things like gas, electricity, broadband, council tax, and comes to about £419. And if you've got any other costs, you just add them in here, and be sure to make them monthly, even though it gets adjusted when it gets calculated. But and then with service costs, you've got the cleaning, the linen, the laundry, the deliveries, the toiletries, the consumables, all of that stuff that you have to pay for as a serviced accommodation operator. So when all of that is factored in, you will be making a profit of £10,000 a year. So £10,000 return on investment is about 16% on the amount you put in, and so you would not be paying tax, I don't expect, anyway. So remove tax. So tax will be payable if you're making more than £85,000 a year, so we'll remove that. Okay, so right. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so in this case, this is returned to 80%. Let's take this back down to 60%. Occupancy. You've got so 9,171, and all the remaining costs remain same, and that is it. So 150,000, you're making £9,000 every year, gives you a gross yield of 6.1%. That's your yield, and a return on investment of 16% based on the monies you put in. You've got operating costs of 1,516, and you end up with a profit of 9,171. Now the question to ask yourself is, if you put in £4,750 equivalent every month, and that works out at 4,750 times 12, £57,000. You put in £57,000 and you get back 9,000. Is that a worthwhile investment? And think about the time you'd spend and how much effort you'd have to put in order to get the property to run properly. Okay, so those are thoughts you need to bear in mind. Now, if you're using Vanna, you're in luck, because there are other strategies you can look at. All right, so some of these strategies have been done automatically for you. It doesn't quite work as a HMO from what I can see here. a conversion, not quite. Buy to let, perhaps. Yeah, so it appears there is some equity in there to run it as a buy to let. You get a high yield, monthly cash flow of 858 in terms of profit. Okay, there's estimated market value of 264,000. Right. So it sounds to me like you're better off running this as a buy to let rather than serviced accommodation. What has it put in as your monthly income? £1,581. That's probably because of the number of bedrooms. Yeah. So you do have options. You can run it as a serviced accommodation, or you can run it as a buy to let. In this case, I would probably say if you must purchase this, then you're better off going as a buy to let rather than a serviced accommodation, because £858 times 12 gives you about 10 grand, which is okay. So if you can achieve £1,581 in where is this? It's a Staffordshire somehow, because of the number of bedrooms. You've got 5 bedrooms and they're all en suite. Then there is profit to be made. Okay, so that's it from me. Until next time, do keep in touch, leave comments, subscribe, and let's go out there and find a deal. Thank you.